Hey, I'm Michael Brue, and welcome back to Michael Brue Real Estate Unlocked. Today, we got something really neat lined up for you. I don't know how I managed this, but I did. I got Toni Taylor, who is known as the mortgage guru, or better known as the fixer of the mortgage world. So, Toni, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Now, I know you, right? Like, we've been doing this mortgage real estate thing for I don't know, the better part of a decade or so, at least together. But what I would like to do is kind of like maybe have the audience get to know you. So, what would you share with all of us, a little bit about you, a little bit about your background, how long you've been doing this, and maybe what you're specializing in today?
Wow. So 30 years I've done mortgages. I started when I was three. It's working out great. My specialty really is that through my career, I had the opportunity to get really intensive underwriting training, combined with a lot of personal growth training. And the two have just created an amazing cocktail effect for a great company, a great, amazing group of people around me that support me because I cannot do what I do by myself. And it's that underwriting knowledge really sets us apart. We know what the industry wants, so when people come to us, we have the ability to evaluate them thoroughly from all directions to make sure that we line up the best options for them specifically. Everybody's situation is unique. If you don't do that process correctly, opportunities will be missed and you'll put people in the wrong products. You'll tell people that can't buy that should buy, and you'll help people try to buy that shouldn't buy.
So, what I think I'm hearing you say is that you actually listen to people and what specifically is best for them before just kind of giving them a one size fits all mortgage, because it's very, very different and very intimate for each one of them as they come to you.
It really is. There are no two transactions that are the same. Everything has its own details of complexity, uniqueness, and everybody should be evaluated based on that. We're not the McDonald's drive up.
Isn't that true? So right now is kind of a really particular time, and this is why I chose you, not just because everybody knows you as the industry go-to, but I've seen you take transactions that were falling apart. Nobody else could get them done, and I don't expect you to give us all your trade secrets of how you do this, but maybe you could give us a couple pointers. What would you suggest for buyers in today's market, like things that they could do to be better prepared?
Yeah, I mean, you really have to start with the mortgage process. So many people go out and they start looking at homes. They want to jump in the car and start, walking through people's houses. And until they have their financial situation looked at and evaluated, they're just setting themselves up for failure. So getting that done, getting the heavy lifting of the paperwork so they can understand what to expect, not only from how much cash am I going to need, what's that payment going to look like, am I really looking at homes that I am going to be comfortable looking at the end of the day, so they don't go into contract on something to find out, 48 hours later that it's more than they want to bite off.
So they don't go buy an $800,000 property that maybe they can only mortgage for 450.
Exactly.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
Okay, really cool. Is there anything else that you would give us as like a strategy or a nugget in today's kind of, I don't know, crazy market that we're in?
Yeah, I mean, we're not all created equal. Just like any industry, you have people that are really, truly professionals and experts, and you have people that are not as proficient and knowledgeable. Working with people that really know the rules, understanding the guidelines, and understanding how an underwriter is going to look at an FHA versus a conventional versus a VA versus USDA versus non-traditional lending programs. Those intimate details can swing a transaction one way or another, and it's just really important that you work with people that have a really diverse background and understanding to be able to make sure that the right opportunities are put on the table.
Ooh, I like that, Tony. Another thing I thought we would just talk about today is one of the things that we share, we have like a common passion for. I think it has united us. It has, certainly excited us from past conversations. You find a way to somehow always morph more towards or leaning into like the mindset piece of this in our industry. And I know you know that that's one of my passions as well. What can you share with us about, that particular skill set that you've acquired?
Wow, I love this. I get so excited. It's changed my life. It's not, I don't do it. The byproduct is I get to help other people, but the truth is I selfishly did it for my own process and to improve my own life. What I can tell you, and I would say this speaks to every single living human being, is what's going on between our ears is affecting everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Ooh.
If you're suffering in any part of your life, changing your mindset, and that is a choice, and it takes some work. It takes a lot of inner reflection and a lot of real self-evaluation, but man, the payoff is so huge. So it really is, when you can help somebody make that shift, I don't think there's anything really that I've found that's much more rewarding than watching the light come on for somebody and seeing their life and their trajectory change.
And you kind of feel like that all started with you kind of getting your mind right and getting your zone right?
Yeah, I mean, I went through a divorce 12 years ago. It was a very difficult time. I started really aggressively at that point, seeking therapy. I went to a lot of trainings, John Maxwell certifications, various other coaching programs and platforms, did the books, went to the seminars, Anthony Robbins, Landmark Forum, you name it.
Oh, wow.
It was really, I had 2 kids, and I knew that I needed to figure some shit out. And so I went to work. And then, one day I look up and I'm like, wow, life's getting a little easier. I'm attracting different things into my life. The relationships changed. I became a way better parent. I became a way better business person, a way better friend, just everything. And it really, I think that probably the biggest part, you're walking around because of this unhealthy stuff going on between your ears, and you're layered with anxiety from your head to your toe, and you don't even know what it is because you just think that's how life feels. And then as you start to get healthier and you heighten those awarenesses, you're like, wow, it doesn't have to be like that. And you start to lean into those things and you find ways to get healthier and healthier. And it's just, I want everybody to experience that.
So I hope everybody else heard that. This is like, we make better decisions and we internalize them, and then we can kind of reverse engineer the process to make better decisions there moving forward, which have global impact on everything in our lives, not just business, but also our personal relations. That right there, that might have been the $36 million gold nugget dropped on the table,
Yeah,
Toni.
it's massive.
I think it
incredible.
changes just about everything. So is there anything else in either one of your worlds? I know you're doing a lot of mindset and coaching, and also extremely well known in the mortgage industry as the person that can go to and get things done. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us today that you feel like would be, a good point to bring up on these 2 topics?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think that in our industry, I live in the space of a mindset of abundance. And I think that it's what I see often is that people live in the scarcity mindset. Your peers in your community, they're not your competition. You have your own flavor, your own uniqueness, and that can't be replicated. I have my own flavor and my own uniqueness. So your peers are people that can help you grow and be better. They're not a threat to you. So help each other and help yourself.
I like it. I like it a lot. It reminds me of this thing that I'm going through. It's called radical reinvention. I'm actually naming it radical reinvention, where you have to go in and kind of assess what went wrong, what went right, and then, how do we make better decisions by reverse engineering the process? So major changes going on in our life so that we can just become better humans altogether and incredible business people.
Yeah.
So isn't it weird, Toni, that like people like us, we attract that type of energy? Like, I think that I do more attraction today than I do anything else. Somebody asked me about your team. It's growing. We've got all these incredibly productive people joining our crew. And what is it? And I just kind of looked at them and went, I don't really think we're recruiting. I think we're attracting. And I think energy begets energy, and we want like energy. And guess what we all have in common? We want to succeed, and we want to be better. We want to be better humans. We want to be better developers of other people. So I think that common thread kind of binds us. Don't you feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely.
It kind of unites us.
It does.
Well, I would like to say thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing just a little bit. And I bet you a lot of people in our audience are going to want to know how to get a hold of you.
All right.
So would you tell them, like, how does one get a hold of Toni Taylor?
Yeah, so the office number is 561-373-0371.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's an honor. I always love talking to you. You're the best.
Toni, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in for another segment of Michael Brue, Real Estate Unlocked. And wait till you see what we have coming next.